Danny Buni, and we're here to inquire about him as regards the current Philippine judicial system. Sir, what can you say as regards the current Philippine judicial system?
I've been practicing since 1990, and there's been a lot of improvement in the last 23 years in terms of the speed, how the cases are handled, and I think also the quality of the decisions that are issued by both the trial court and the Supreme Court. It appears that maybe with all the information you have now, you have the internet, everything is digitized. The access to precedents and laws are better, so it also reflects in the decisions that are made by our courts.
Sir, in line with your answer, what can you say is the problem with the Philippine judicial system?
I think there's a lack of judges. If you look at every so often dun sa papers, you'll see na there are a lot of vacancies in the trial courts. No? So if there's a vacancy, what happens is one judge will have to double up in another trial court, which makes it double difficult for him. Instead of just having one caseload, dalawa ang hawak niya. So that of course will the judicious or the expediting of the handling of the cases. I think that may be one of the major concerns of the judiciary. They really lack qualified judges.
Would you think that there would be a problem with our judicial system that can cause conflicts between government politicians?
Well, the appointees kasi to the courts are made by the Judicial and Bar Council, where no politicians are seated. So I think there really should be no conflict between the government and the judiciary. I think the independence of the judiciary is really being maintained, more so under the present administration, where they really make sure na walang pinch of political appointments, or there's no pinch of favors being returned in return for appointments to the court. So I really don't see too much.
Sir, how about the decisions and the outcomes of courts?
Like I said, since the courts now have more access, I think the information is readily available. I would still like to believe that justice is impartial, despite if the cases involves hacienda visita or maybe a small sari-sari store down the road. The law will give equal weight to both the pros and the cons. It's really a question of how good are your lawyers. To me, the judicial system is there. It's fair. It's really how good are your lawyers. You can have a very good case, but if the quality of your lawyer is not so good, then even if you had a winning case, it might be hard. Because, again, it's a matter of presentation of evidence, making convincing arguments. How do you piece together all the precedents to give you the advantage in court?
Sir, how about what can you say about the fact that some people suggest that abolishing the courts or the municipal trial court, regional trial court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, and unifying them into one would speedily help the due process of law?
I think it would actually make things more difficult if you would abolish the courts and just say have one body handle everything. Because what would happen is you have a guy collecting 25,000 pesos for a bounce check. That's a small amount. Then you'd have another case that's 25 billion, maybe a construction contract or whatever. Then it's just one body handling everything from the small to the large. That would really, I think that would cause more damage than it would help in. One big step which we appreciate in the banking industry is the small claims court. We can file small claims without having to go through the real a trial on the merits process. So it helps us in collecting the other smaller amounts, and we can handle more carefully the larger amounts. We can entrust to our paralegals, or we can entrust to even a senior officer who is confident enough in handling collection, no? Without having actually lawyers doing the job and making things more technical and more difficult at times.
Okay, so lastly, what can you suggest that will improve the Philippine judicial system?
Maybe, improve the compensation for the judges. Although we know the legal profession is not really, it's not, it's not for profit, no? But if you compare what a corporate lawyer would earn maybe in a big conglomerate to what a trial judge would earn, it's really a love that they do their jobs. It's really a love for the law. It's really a vocation, a calling na maging part ng judiciary. No? So I would think if they would really increase the benefit package for judges, then maybe they would be able to get more people willing to join the judiciary. Maybe another thing is we have to improve the physical layout of our courtrooms.
Yes.
I'm sure you've been in some of them before, no? Although some cities have already taken the first step, no? Quezon City has renovated, they have the Hall of Justice. Makati has wonderful trial courts, no? But I hope other cities would be willing to invest in the premises for their courts and make things easier, or would make handling of cases easier for our judiciary.
So, I think we're done.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering questions.